Hi there. Okay, here we have an essay at the level of the CPE, that's level C2. Okay, the question. Athletes are more likely to be motivated by prize money and the opportunity to be famous. What messages does this send to young people? And how does this attitude to sport affect the sports themselves? Give reasons for your answers. Okay. Sport and today's young people. This essay was written by Roland Simon. Sport and today's young people. It works as a title, but it doesn't read very well. Let's see. I think I would probably say sport and the youth of today. Here the youth just means the young people, the youth of today. It's just a nicer title. Okay, so I better put this in capitals. The message world athletes sent in a bygone era was pretty straightforward. Just do your best. However, the perception of professional sport events has changed recently. Young people's attitudes clearly go against the ethos of the sublime spirit of the first Greek Olympic Games. They associate sport with fame and money. Okay, you've stated the question quite nicely in your own words here. Okay, the message world athletes sent. The message world athletes sent in a bygone era was pretty straightforward. Just do your best. World athletes. I guess world athletes. I guess you could do that. Famous athletes. I'm going to leave it as world athletes. The message world athletes sent in a bygone era was pretty straightforward. Just do your best. Okay. However, the perception of professional, I would say either sports events or sporting events, has changed recently. Okay, you could put recently, certainly. I think I would prefer has changed over recent years. Young people's attitudes clearly go against the ethos of the sublime spirit of the first Greek Olympic Games. They associate sport with fame and money. Okay, apart from that, we're fine. Firstly, if a contestant had not showcased their full passion and extraordinary feats of endeavour in the ancient times, the audience would have been left with heavy heart. Okay, so firstly, if a contestant had not showcased their full passion, so let's lose there. Full passion had not showcased extreme, extreme, extreme passion and extraordinary feats of athletic endeavour in the ancient times. Yeah, it could be I'd probably prefer it in ancient times. The audience would have been left with it's come even to me naturally, a heavy heart. So the audience, let's see, normally to me an audience is more like for a film or a play. I would say the spectators. For Firstly, if a contestant had not showcased extreme passion and extraordinary feats of athletic endeavour in ancient times, the spectators would have been left with a heavy heart. The arena used to be regarded as a sacred shrine. If you thought there are something other motivating factors apart from being constantly in the spotlight, early retirement, and the financial security, you would be so naive in the era of instant gratification and utter egocentricity. So, if you thought there, I think I would probably change this slightly. If you think there are other motivating factors apart from being in the constantly being in the spotlight, early retirement, and financial security, you would be so naive. So if you think that there are other motivating factors apart from constantly being in the spotlight, early retirement, and financial security, you would be so naive. You would be extremely naive in our era of instant gratification and utter egocentricity. If you think there are other motivating factors apart from constantly being in the spotlight, motivating factors. Okay, if you think there are other motivating factors, so let's try. Okay, so if you think that constantly being in the spotlight, early retirement, and financial security are the only motivations, you would be extremely naive in our era of instant gratification and utter egocentricity. So adamant young athletes are. No, you need to put this the other way round. So adamant are young athletes that they do everything to be successful. So that they do, I think I want to put a will here. They will do everything. So I'm going to add to this, do anything and everything to be successful. Let alone they are willing to run the risk of being sick. Let alone running the risk. And sick is talking about illness, of being injured. So I've missed this let alone, because I like the construction with let alone. So adamant are young athletes that they will do anything and everything to be successful, let alone just running the risk of being injured. Winning the game fair and square appears to lose its luster. So winning the game fair and square appears to lose its luster. And so strict drug tests have been implemented. Nevertheless, avaricious people will come up with new methods will come up with new, tried and tested methods So, nevertheless, avaricious people will come up with new tried and tested methods as formulas to cheat. And so turning professional sports into a fiasco. If you used unethical and harmful performance enhancer substance, your health would pay the price in the long run. So let's see, let's make this present. Let's make it a zero or a first conditional. If you use unethical or harmful performance enhancing substances, your health may well pay the price in the long run. If you use unethical or harmful performance enhancing substances, your health may well pay the price in the long run. Secondly, I'm playing the devil's advocate when I dare to write down, you don't need the down, when I dare to write that money is not the root of all evil. Many people are caught up in the devil and the deep blue sea during the latest economic imbroglio. So many people have been caught between the devil and the deep blue sea during the latest economic imbroglio. Nebulous prospect of future and violence are the hallmarks of shanty towns. So, nebulous prospects for the future, nebulous prospects for the future and violence are the hallmarks of shanty towns. Okay, we need some sort of way to link these two. Okay, many people have been caught between the devil and the deep blue sea during the latest economic embroglio. And nebulous prospects for the future and violence are the hallmarks of shanty towns. And, just join them together, nebulous prospects for the future and violence are the hallmarks of shanty towns. Be that as it may, pursuing a sporting career is the last ray of hope the last ray of hope to cling to. Hope for these people to cling to. Just think of the successful trajectory. Just think of the successful career trajectories of Latin American footballers. If they had not refused if they had not refused to take the easy path unceremoniously, they would have been ensnared into a labyrinth of crime. If you were in their shoes, you would be hard-pressed to think you do make a better decision. So if you were in their shoes, you would be hard-pressed to make a better decision. You would be hard-pressed to make a better decision. Okay, so let me read. If they had not refused to take the easy path unceremoniously, they would have been ensnared into a labyrinth of crime. If you were in their shoes, so one of these, instead of if they had not, had they not refused to take the easy path unceremoniously, they would have been ensnared into a labyrinth of crime. If you were in their shoes, and we can do the same again here, were you in their shoes, you would be hard-pressed to make a better decision. Notwithstanding the doom and gloom of significant cases of sportsmen's outrageous and debauched lives as media portrays us in such a sensational way, sport can act as a springboard to extricate people from the shackle of abject poverty. So, notwithstanding the doom and gloom, let's use the word surrounding. Surrounding. Media portrayal. T-R. It's P-O-R-T. Portray. Yes, portrayal. Portrayal. That's better. Portrayal. So, notwithstanding the doom and gloom surrounding media portrayal, and I'm going to lose this significant, of sportsmen's outrageous and debauched lives. Okay. Notwithstanding the doom and gloom surrounding, so let's say surrounding sensationalist, IONALIST. So, notwithstanding the doom and gloom surrounding sensationalist media portrayal of sportsmen's outrageous and debauched lives. That reads better. Sport can act as a springboard to extricate people from the shackle, normally we used in the plural, but it's okay in the singular, of abject poverty. Notwithstanding the doom and gloom surrounding sensationalist media portrayal of sportsmen's outrageous and debauched lives, sport can act as a springboard to extricate people from the shackles of abject poverty. In conclusion, no matter how many bad examples you can find in sport, it continues to play an indispensable role in our society. If a child honestly revels in any kind of sporting activity, it is a good omen for the future of sport. The onus is on coaches to instill the seed of the appreciation of physical activities. Instill the seed of the appreciation of physical activities for pure enjoyment. So, the onus is on coaches to instill among children the seed of appreciation for physical activities, the appreciation for, and I would change this, so for pure enjoyment, for the pure enjoyment, for pure enjoyment, for the pure enjoyment of it, as it were. Let me read. If a child honestly revels in any kind of sporting activity, it is a good omen for the future of sport. The onus is on coaches to instill among children the seed of appreciation for physical activities, for the pure enjoyment of it, as it were. Okay, there we go. Let's see. My first question is, have you answered the question? So, what message does this send to young people? Very definitely. And how does this attitude affect the sports themselves? You've only given a very little bit of that, with the increasing drug tests and things like that. So I think you could have said a little bit more about how sports are affected. Maybe you said a little bit in the media as well, but you've concentrated mostly on the other part. So almost. Let's see. You've used lots of conditionals, which is fine, but you do need to get them right. Using the right tenses. unfortunately, you missed the inversion with so determined are young people or something like that. Um, the vocabulary, as always, it's got a great set of vocabulary. The vocabulary is really good. Um, there are too many mistakes overall, though. Yeah, I've had to rewrite quite a few bits. Yeah, the cohesion is quite good and it's fairly cohesive. So yes, and you've got a wide range of different sentences using simple, complex, and compound sentences. Um, Overall, I would say too many little mistakes, which make it sound a little less than natural, but a good overall effort. So well done, thank you.